Hello, students. Welcome back to the online classes. I hope you all are fine and safe. From today, we'll start up with the final term course, and the lesson which will be starting is urbanization. So let's begin. In the previous classes, we had studied about the rural and the urban areas, and here in the picture, you can see the rural and the urban areas. When we say urban, we mean the city and town areas. When we say rural, we mean the countryside. Generally, people move from rural areas to urban areas for a better lifestyle and to earn a better livelihood. And here in the picture, you can see that a man is moving from rural to urban area. In the next picture, also you can see that the man is moving towards the urban area for a better lifestyle and to earn a good livelihood. And hence, this movement from rural areas to urban areas leads to urbanization. Hence, urbanization is the shift from rural to urban living and the increased concentration of the human population in densely populated cities. Urbanization is the physical growth of rural or natural land into urban areas as a result of population immigration to an existing urban area. Hence, urbanization can also be defined as the process of change and its results when a society gets transformed from an agricultural economy to an industrial economy. In simple words, it can be defined as the movement of people from villages to towns and cities. In the next picture, it can be seen that many people have moved from the rural areas to urban areas and settled here, which led to urbanization. Next, we come to the reasons for development of modern cities of the world. And there are three reasons. We'll study them one by one. The first one is industrial revolution. Now, due to industrial revolution, which provided employment opportunities to people who migrated from rural areas to urban areas to earn a living, and hence cities were formed. The next one is establishment of colonial rule in large parts of the world. Now, colonial rule is a rule by wealthy or powerful nations over weaker countries, and hence this led to development of modern cities of the world. And the next point is development of democratic ideals. Now, democratic ideals are those ideas which are related to betterment of people as well as the society, and hence it is one of the reasons for development of modern cities of the world. Now, in this next picture collage, you can see the different modern cities of the world. Next, we come to the causes of urbanization, and we'll study them one by one. The first cause is industrial revolution. The industrial revolution started in late 18th century and it had a significant effect. With the invention of railways, automobiles, the time used in moving and the cost which was used, it improved. Then there were more job opportunities and better education facilities. And hence it led to urbanization. The next point is industrialization. Now, it is an important cause as with the growth of industries, employment opportunities increased, and hence people migrated to cities in search of jobs as industries provided better job opportunities, and with that, the lifestyle as well as the livelihood increased. The next point is job opportunities. More job opportunities in cities is also an attraction for rural people, okay, because they are able to get to earn more money. In villages, the main source of livelihood is agriculture, and most of the people have small pieces of land which is not able to support their family. And hence, if they stay there, it will lead to poverty, and hence they migrate, and it leads to urbanization. The next point is social factors. The better living standards in urban areas, better housing facilities, more freedom, then women empowerment, etc., are important social factors which lead to urbanization. The changed lifestyle of a family member who took the risk of migrating to city encourages his own family members and families to migrate to a city, and hence it leads to urbanization. Next point is modernization. The modern lifestyle of urban centers, women empowerment, etc., are a great attraction for people living in rural areas. The next point is better civic amenities. Amenities are the facilities. Now, the quality of education in villages, as we know, is quite low. At times, the schools and colleges are far from homes, and hence the city provides an advanced and better facilities for education. It also provides better healthcare facilities as compared to rural areas, and hence people move to urban areas, which leads to urbanization. The next point which we'll study is the impact of urbanization. Impact is the effect of urbanization, and we'll study it in under two heads, that is positive and negative impacts. So we'll start up with the positive impact. Now, under the positive impact, urbanization leads to improved literacy rate, better health, and social services. Now, as most of the residents of a country reached a middle income status, thus economically the nation also become prosperous because of urbanization. Urbanization leads to greater employment opportunities. Then the development of cities reduces poverty in both urban as well as in rural areas. Okay, and hence there is reduction in poverty because of urbanization. There is an improvement in quality of education because the students migrate to cities and number of educational institutions also increase. Then the next point is it leads to better communication and infrastructural services. So these were the positive impacts. Next we come to the negative impact of urbanization, and the first point is urbanization in some cases leads to urban poverty. The next point is as the population has increased in the cities, there is a great pressure on land and water resources. The next point is population and waste disposal. Now, as we know that the population in the urban areas has increased and a lot of people has to be accommodated, so it leads to pollution of all kinds as well as there is a problem of waste disposal. The next point is traffic congestion. Again, it is related to the increase in population because if the population is more, there will be more of traffic congestion. Now we come to the next point, and it is the formation of slums. Now, urbanization at times lead to formation of slums because the population has become more and it is becoming difficult to accommodate all the people. Next point is increase in crime rate. Now, as the population is more, there is more of unemployment and poverty, and it compel people to get involved into different kinds of crimes. Now, the next point is unemployment. Now, with the increase in population in cities, it reduces chances of employment, and hence people are compelled to work on low wages. Now, the next picture I'm showing you as an example of increase in population. Now, this picture is of Tata Steel plant at Jamshedpur. When this plant was set up, the population at Jamshedpur it increased tremendously as many people got employment. The next heading which we'll study about is the satellite city. Now here in the picture you can see the satellite city. Now satellite cities are smaller cities that are near to a large city, that is the center of a metropolitan area, that is near a metropolitan city you will find a satellite city. They are different from suburbs because they have their own center. Satellite cities could be separate cities outside of a large metropolitan areas. Now these cities are planned which manage or contain the urban people. They are designed to help a major city extend in all possible ways as they are self-containing and independent cities. A satellite city is also known as a satellite town, and it is a concept in urban planning that refers essentially to smaller metropolitan areas which are located somewhat near to and are independent of larger metropolitan areas. Now in the next picture, you can see some of the examples of satellite city. The first map is of Delhi, and in Delhi, you will find Gurgaon, Faridabad, and Noida, which are examples of satellite cities. And the next map is of Mumbai, where you will find Thane and Navi Mumbai as an example of satellite cities. The next we'll study is the advantages of satellite cities. Now, the first point is there is a balance between population and resources, okay, by having a satellite cities. Then there is environment friendly development. People get affordable houses and there is superior quality of living. It propels local economy. That is, it helps in the growth of the local economy. It also leads to appreciation in prices of property. Appreciation means there is growth in the prices of property. And the next point is transport infrastructure of these cities provide easily accessibility to its residents so that they can move from one place to another, and hence it leads to sustainable development. The next heading which we'll study about is the smart city. A smart city is an urban development vision to integrate information and communication technology, that is ICT, in a secure fashion to manage cities' assets. A smart city is an urban area that uses different types of electronic methods and sensors to collect data. Now, the data which is collected is used to manage assets, resources, and services, and this data is also used to improve the operations across the city. Now, the next picture is of smart city. Here, different things are run with the help of more advanced technology. For example, with the help of advanced maps and location technologies, it makes our cities, communities, and cars more smarter and safer. Next, we come to Smart Cities Mission. Now, Smart Cities Mission is an urban renewal and retrofitting program by the Government of India with a mission to develop 100 cities all over the country, making them citizen friendly and sustainable. Now, some of the smart cities of India include Kochi in Kerala, Ludhiana in Punjab, Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh, then Dharamshala in Himachal, Kurukshetra in Rajasthan. Next, we'll study about the infrastructure elements in a smart city, and we'll study them point-wise. The first one is adequate water supply. Next, assured power supply, sanitation, then efficient urban mobility and public transport network, affordable housing, robust IT connectivity and digitalization, good governance and citizen participation. Then there is sustainable environment, safety and security of citizens, and health and education. So these are some of the elements which are found in the smart city. With this, we come to an end to our lesson, Urbanization. I hope you all have understood it well. I'll be sending you the question answers and exercises. Question answers to be done in the notebook and exercises to be done in the textbook. So stay healthy and stay safe. Have a good day. Thank you.